So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create
Yeah, so I did say I was going to go into the image, and he's going to describe it, okay?
robots to replace humans. You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans. You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans?
Yeah, so artificial representation. That's simply put when you go into the word image, right? Artificial representation. Statute, right? So the standard statute going into the law, the laws of the land, okay? It's all tied in there, okay? You just got to understand image, the word image, right? Artificial representation, okay? That's when you go a little deep into the word image, statute, all right? And then, so that's Revelation 13:15. And then Revelation 13:16, they're going to cause it, right? So he spoke about the cause. Listen carefully.
You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans?
Yeah. So simply put, man. They're going to cause that to happen. And when you go into that word cause, there's many different levels of that word. Okay, for example, they will have a motive. They will make a reason or motive for a decision, grounds for action, right? Lawsuits, case in law, okay? Judicial process, lawsuits, right? So there's many aspects of it. I just listed there, all right? And that's Revelation 13:16, around there. That verse, he speaks and calls. Daniel 7:25, he thinks to change times and laws. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto unrighteous decrees, right? And then you have Psalms 94:20, shall the throne of iniquity, let me just read it. I'm going to read that one. Psalms 94:20. Let me read that one real quick. All right. So so the question is going to be asked in a wonderful statement. The psalmist asked this statement, Psalms 94:20, and it says, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?" Right now, speaking. Again, like I said, I've always said in my videos,
A lot of people.
I don't care about the Goyams. There's nothing I can do for the Goyams. But as far as the nation of Israel, but namely the elect, right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay, that's our concern, right? So shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law, okay? So we're not, right? So can unjust leaders claim that the Most High is on their side, right? On their right-hand side? Leaders whose decree permit injustice. And the answer is absolutely no, right? Not on the right side. Yes, the Lord controls the outcome of both sides, okay? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai never let any of his crises go to waste. Judgment will be served, right? But unjust leaders, right, are unjustly wicked. Simply put, man. So the answer is no to that on the right hand side. So yes, no to that for the right hand side. All right. So simply put, man, this is serious. Now we went over image. Like I said, I don't want to spend too long, but you get an idea here of what we're dealing with, right? We're dealing with the mark of the beast, right, and the prophecy of the role of Moab, and I can simply say Ammon, and then you have a gentleman that you're looking at. Chances are this could be an Edomite. I'm going to say a so-called Edomite for now, but like I said, I tried to find some information about this, about these images that we're seeing here, right? Again, you know, if it's artificial representation, okay, right? In other words, if it's AI here, man, there's real representatives in the world that represent Moab, Ammon, and Esau, Edom. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna finish off right now this lesson. I'm gonna go into the role in which the image and the cause is all about, right? And it's sorcery. It's complete sorcery. So let's see Moab's role. So I'm gonna go to Numbers, the book of Numbers 22, Numbers 22 6 and 7, and then I'm gonna give you Numbers 20, 23, Numbers 23 and 23. Okay, so let's go there. Let's see. In order to keep the people as slaves, what is the technique that is being used? All right, because that's what this guy's talking about, right? It's cheaper. It's cheaper to turn people into robots than to make robots. That's that. So Numbers, let's go to that one first. Numbers 22, the role of Moab. Numbers 22, and yep, Numbers 22, 6 and 7. So we'll go right there, right? And we know the story of Balaam. Okay, it says, or Balak, right? I'll go straight to the point. Okay, I'll go straight to the point. Go straight to the point. 6 and 7. It says, "Come therefore and pray thee, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure I shall prevail that we might smite them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I wot that he whom thou blessed, and him whom thou accursed," right? And verse 7, "And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their land." Okay, so that's what they're up to. Divination. "And they came into Balaam and spake unto him the words of Balak." All right, so you people can go do your research. I'm not going to do that part for you. Look up who Balaam is and Balak, right? The elders of Moab, right? And the elders of Moab, okay? And you will see that they're all about the rewards of divination, right? And if you look up this word real quick, that's the only one I'm going to look up today, divination, okay? Divination, okay? Tool. This is the tool that is used to make humans into robots. Artificial representation. Image. Let's make people into robots. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It says divination, act of foretelling by supernatural or magical means the future or discovering what is hidden or obscure. You see, magical means the power of foreseeing, prediction, okay? All right. To be inspired by God, small g, okay? In other words, they're gods. They can, Moabites, they eat everything except tables and airplanes. They will eat anything except tables and airplanes. That's what they say, right? I'm not making stuff up. And there it is. This final one for divination. It says, divination hath been anciently and fitly divided into artificial and natural, whereof artificial, when the mind maketh a prediction by argument, concluding upon signs and tokens. Natural is when the mind had a presentation by an eternal power, without the inducement of a sign. The advancement of learning, 1605. Yes, so as you can clearly see, divination, right? Sorcery. I'm going to read one more. Wisdom of Solomon 12, right? 23 and 24. Final one on Moab and his sorcery. Wisdom of Solomon 12. Did I pull that one up? Bear with me. I think I have Ezra's. 1 second there. Wisdom of Solomon 12. All right. Wisdom of Solomon 12. Let's get it right there. Bear with me. Wisdom of Solomon 12, 23 and 24. Straight to the point. On Moab and his sorcery, it says, Wherefore, whereas men have lived dissolutely and unrighteously, thou hast tormented them with their own abominations. Hey, this thing is going to turn right back around on them. And it has already started. They're bugging out. And these, for lack of a better word, cream puffs, you're going to see it very soon with these nations, these goyams. Okay, their sorcery is going to blow up on them. Okay, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is in control. He controls the issues of life and death. Verse 24, Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 24, and it says, For they went astray very far in the ways of error, and held them for gods, which even among the beasts of their enemies were despised, and being deceived as the children of no understanding. Okay? Children of no understanding. And hey, listen, this precept here is twofold, because you're going to have Israelites, okay? 2/3 of them are going to follow after the way of Moabites. You're into meditation, you're into yoga in a wicked sense. You don't know how to use it. You're not skillful to know how to use meditation and yoga, but you go into the gods of the nations, right, and start to do evil. Simply put, okay. Yeah. So that's one. You folks over there, you got Numbers 23 and 23. You can hold that one. And I'm going to give you one more. I might as well just go there since I'm there. Baruch, in closing. Baruch. Okay, Baruch 6. So let's go there. Right, Baruch 6. Baruch 5. I don't know why I'm saying that. It should be 5. Let's see if that's the right one. Actually, no, that's not the one I want. Okay. Anyway, you get the drift with that, right? Divination, sorcery, right? There's many other scriptures. Okay, and the final one I'm going to go into to end off. Okay, because he mentioned it. Turn the humans into robots, so they're going to be slaves. So the prophetic scripture is Revelation 18 and 13. But I'm going to go to another prophetic scripture. Okay. I'm going to go to Isaiah 47 and 6. I think that's the one I'm going to go to, and that should be it. Right? Isaiah, bear with me. Yeah. Okay. Isaiah 47. I'm pulling this thing up. I'm just having a little bit of challenge here. Yeah, 47. All right. So, all right, 47 and 6. So it says, right, this is the tool that is being used in Babylon, and Moab and Ammon, they're using that tool, no doubt about it. Right? Straight to the point. All right. It says, "Oh, beautiful Babylon." I'll start at verse 5. Go straight to the point. Isaiah 47, verse 6. I'll start at verse 5. It says, "Oh, beautiful Babylon, sit now in the darkness and silence." NLT, "Never again will you be known as the Queen of Kingdoms." Right? And you people need to look up this word queen. Okay? You need to look it up. Go deep with it. Because it doesn't just mean a woman set in power that just sit and rule. Okay? It has many aspects to it. Okay? Verse 6. Here's the point. Isaiah 47 and 6. It says, "For I was angry with my chosen people. I was angry, with my chosen people, you see, and punished them by letting them fall into your hands, you see." All right? Because, history showed that when we went off, we would go into all of the sorcery. Right? And the Lord's angry for that. But you, Babylon, showed them no what? Mercy. Continuous. You oppress them, even the elderly. Hey, listen, man, it's rough up in here. Artificial foods, you're allowed to eat bugs. They put it in your food. It's not like, and then, 5, 10, 12 years later, 20 years later, they would tell you that it was in this and it was in that and this and that, and it's this company and, and so forth like that. It's total oppression, right? And that's what you do to slaves. You oppress them continuously. You continuously show no mercy, like it says there. Okay? No mercy, right? I'll read it for you in the KJV, right? It says, "I was wroth with my people, and I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancients," right, the elderly. "Hast thou a very heavily laid thy yoke," you see? So, yes, that yoke is on us until we are delivered out of here. Because that's how the Lord set it up, man. Until the Lord delivers us. Because there's no man that's going to be able to deliver us but the Lord. And He has given us His message of inheritance. The just shall live by His faith. Okay, and fear. We fear Yahweh Shem Yoshai. All right, because He's the one that's doing everything, man. He put us in, and He said He'll take us out. Right, He's going to deliver us. So we don't expect Moab, Ammon. We don't expect you, Esau. We don't trust your thing that you got there. All right. So that's that. I'm only going to bring one more scripture out. Okay, Revelation 18:13, and that's my final scripture in closing today. So let's go there. Revelation 18:13. Right, and it says, okay, and this is the condition Babylon is in. It's in that, and it's happening so fast before us. Okay, it says, and you know what? Let me right, because this precept is actually going into the when Babylon is destroyed, what they've lost. But I wanted to actually share with you with that verse 13, simply put, the word slaves. Okay, and one of the reasons for its destruction is because of what I just read before. You have the yoke on the Israelites, right? Namely the prophets. You have a yoke on them, and you continue to have no mercy. So Simply put, man, it says here, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. So yes, you control all of that, and with the slaves, the servants from here who built this place actually was built on the slaves' backs. No doubt about it. And what I mean by that is there's a scripture that says, all former things are from Jacob. So we were the wheel, okay, the creators, but then the so-called Edomite, Moabite, Ammonite, and the rest of you nations, you're the ones who profit, profit, off of what we've had, okay, of what we created. But that was part of the Lord's plan, as weird as it sounds, because he said he's going to deliver you out of it, but it's a witness against you, okay? So anyway, you know what? I'm going to read it, my final scripture, Jeremiah 50:38, because it says it better than how I just said it. So let's go there. Jeremiah 50:38, okay? My final precept. Jeremiah 50:38, okay? It says it better because I brought up slaves and oppression. All right? Bear with me. Let's listen to this guy.
Desperate, just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans? You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans? You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans? You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans? You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans? You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans? You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into a person to control how the person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans? You're gonna have a lot of people who will be desperate just for food. You have microchip technology that you can plant into into a person to control how this person behaves. So you have cheap labor that's desperate for work, and then you have mass demand in Western Asian society. So all the ingredients are in place. So why not just turn humans into robots, which is cheaper than actually create robots to replace humans? You're gonna have a lot of people will be.
Okay, so you get the drift, right? But let me get you the verse. It's Jeremiah 15:33, my final verse in closing. It says, and again, this is prophetic, okay? All right, and if you know, you know. If the Spirit is revealed to you, you know. Those in the know what I'm reading. Jeremiah 15:33, final scripture, going into the slaves and being oppressed together. Right? Because I prefaced at the beginning of this lesson, the main concern after exposing the role of the Moabite, the Ammonite, and the Edomite is who's being oppressed under the thumb. So it says here, thus saith the Lord power, Jeremiah 15:33, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. All right, oppressed together, and all that took upon them captives, held them fast. You see, they refused to let them go. Right, verse 34, final scripture. Might as well just read it. Right, it says the Redeemer is strong. You see, right, the Lord of hosts, Bashim Yoshai, is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that they may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Yes, so that's coming, right? The Lord's going to use all of this calm before the actual storm, right? The calm is a peace and safety tool of artificial representation. Okay, use that tool. Okay, and expose it. I mean, it's not going to be a cakewalk, but expose it, and you see it right now, and it's building, right? It's building like a snowball, like an avalanche, okay? Like an avalanche, and the Lord is the one that's causing the avalanche, all right? So that's my final scripture. Lord willing, this video was edifying, so with that, all praises to Abba Shem Yoshai, double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, to the men and women who cry and sigh for the abominations that are done within and without. With that, I'm going to say about Babal, Kwam Yashala, and about Babal.